I will wear a cowboy hat one day. Do you want to be a cool, artsy, independent artist? Or do you want to be an artist that's literally struggling? For the first four songs on the album, it was all in one file. Yeah.
Four songs
Yeah, four songs.
in
It
one
was a mess.
file.
Hmm. Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't have any other headphones. These are my only headphones.
I like a.
The the Razer like Kitty edition, like
I'm
they're
telling
actually really
you,
good.
people are gonna watch this and wish they had those. They're gonna go buy them. You gotta get that sponsorship. And by the way,
Yeah.
I started. So I wanted to introduce you to the interview slash podcast. Thank you for joining. Hi guys, I'm Daddy Dan, and I'm joined with
Love Sick Cowboy.
Sick Cowboy. So I wanted to ask you like what you went by because I saw you kind of had two names.
Yeah, so I started releasing music as just my first name, which is Kobe. And then last year I decided to change it to Lovesick Cowboy because there is another artist under the name Kobe, like the exact spelling and everything, but he's a much bigger artist. And so he would like bury me in the search results and everything. And I tried my best to like change the my name for like the algorithm's sake, so I put like an asterisk and that did not work.
Yeah,
So I'm like, you know what? I'm still small. I'm gonna change my name to Lovesick Cowboy because it
let's
just sounds
go.
funny. It sounds cool. I don't know why.
It
I think
does.
it's a cool artist name.
And it's like you expect some kind of cowboy, but they don't get
Yeah,
that, which
I
is
haven't
like
thought of cowboy.
that's even more cool for your like close fans and your like day
Mm,
ones because they get to like talk about Lovesick Cowboy while others are like not sure what to expect, and it's a pleasant
mhm.
surprise. But yeah, thank
Yeah.
you for joining,
I will wear a cowboy hat one day. That's the
dude. That's a
goal.
whole album. You got to plan that
A
out.
good, right? A good cowboy hat is so expensive. It's like $500, I swear. If you get a boot barn and look through the cowboy hats, they're so expensive. They're crazy.
I mean, man, who are the Cowboys? Rich people, man. They got money.
Right?
They're
They got farms.
Cowboys.
That's what they got.
They're built different. Yeah. I want to say, I like where we started off, where you're like already talking about algorithms and just how to promote yourself. I love that stuff. Like, those are my favorite conversations to have with artists, and I'm glad you mentioned it because it's so interesting because no one talks about it. And I feel bad when people start and are probably way more talented than me, but
Yeah.
have no idea how to promote themselves. I remember I chose Daddy Dan because it's kind of funny, and I'm stuck with it because
Um,
it's been a while, but I remember it's like it might be too simple, but that's what I'm looking for, something so simple but not taken. And I looked and I was
mhm.
like, oh, there's like maybe two accounts with like 5 followers. I was like, okay, I'm taking this name. I know I'm gonna be bigger than
Yeah.
that. But yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
I've looked at some names and I'm like, oh, there's like big artists. I'm never gonna show up on the search result if I have the same name as them. So that's
Yeah,
cool.
it's definitely a struggle when you're first starting out with your name because there might be like five or six other people with your same name. So you have to be like, oh, am I really gonna like die on the hill for this name, or do I have to change it? Because when you start out, it's like, oh, I could just, well, I realized that I could experiment with shit. So I could do whatever until something works. So I'm gonna do this Lovesick Cowboy stuff until I can't, Like, it's
Yeah,
just try and fail.
yeah, there's nothing holding you back from changing the name.
Hmm.
It's what unless you're signed and they own the name or something. Like you
Yeah.
could do whatever you want. Yeah, you're an independent artist. Unless you're not, I don't know. I don't know. You might be signed.
No, I am not signed. Hell no, not right now.
Nah,
Um,
a boy isn't a sellout.
there's a couple labels that are crazy though. Dead Air, which is the new label that Quadeca, right?
Yeah, Kodeka.
Yeah, he released a crazy album under that
Yeah,
label.
I didn't mean to
And
haunt you or something.
yeah, and it's crazy and it's really fucking good. And that label has a crazy amount of artists on it, which are crazy. So that is a label that I'm like, there's certain labels like that where I'm like looking, I'll be like, oh, I could fit in there, but I don't want to like, because that it doesn't seem like I'm gonna sell out.
That's so cool that you've already like looked into that. I don't think I've ever
Yeah.
thought about like looking into what labels match me.
No, because there's a certain like it's a picky subject with people because that's the goal that everybody like sets themselves up to when they're
Sure,
starting
yeah.
music. Like, oh, I want to be signed to a label, I want to do something. But the thing is that what was I gonna say? A lot of people see like Atlantic or something. They want to, oh, I want to be signed by Atlantic. But what roster of artists do they have under their belt? So it's like, oh, I I'm not. And then a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to be signed because I want to be an independent artist. But what does that mean? Like, do you want to be a cool artsy independent artist, or do you want to be an artist that's literally struggling to get
Yeah.
money? So like
I
it, I don't think it's a bad thing to be signed.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
definitely good if it's like you're going to be a priority or like somewhat of a
Hmm.
priority. Like if I'm under one of the biggest, what do you call it, record label, and
Yeah.
I'm in the biggest one, so there's like the biggest artists there. I don't think I know I'm not going to get any help really because they don't care. They'll
Mhm.
probably provide the very bare minimum, but yeah, it's definitely if it's a smaller one that has more to prove, that could be a good option.
Yeah.
I think for
Yeah.
me, I don't mind
Definitely.
being an independent artist forever
Yeah. I
as
don't
long as
mind.
I
Yeah.
think it makes sense until it doesn't. Like if I can do
Hmm.
everything that a label can do for me without them and earn more money, sure. But if it's like, yeah, everything's working, like I'm getting the numbers, people love me, but I can't get to book, I can't seem to book shows and do a lot of other things because I'm busy, then yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I want
I,
to let's stop here because we've talked a good amount
yeah.
and no one even knows who you are or what you do. Like, I,
Oh,
I need the people to know
hey.
who Love Sick Cowboy is. Like,
My
we
name is the Lovesick Cowboy. Real name Kobe. I make rap music. Um, I have an album that just came out like a couple of weeks ago called Live from the Cottage. I've been doing this since I was about 15, 16. So I'm just starting to like get it. So yeah, that's where I am at right now.
he's getting it,
I'm from,
guys.
yeah, and also I am from Kingsburg, California. Small town,
Shout
small
out
town.
Kingsburg.
Just shout out Kingsburg.
He's gonna put it on the map, hopefully.
Now, Kingsburg's already kind of like it's a weird town. There's like maybe three famous people here. Somebody plays in the NFL. I think his name's like Tyler Bray.
Yo, that's
So
cool.
yeah,
Okay, so it's getting bigger.
right.
People are putting it on the map.
Slowly.
Yeah, I wanted to ask: is the face paint, is that like always there? Did you put that on for this interview? I'm so curious. Where did that come from?
I put it on for the interview. I
Yo,
did it really sloppy, which is kind of cool because it fits the aesthetic too.
it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah. Yo, that's commitment. Yo,
Yeah, I commit to
does
the
that not
bit.
like does that fully wash off your face though? I gotta ask.
Oh yeah, actually, I was scared that it wasn't when I first got the face paint because it was like a $5 cheapo one. So when I was washing it off, I'm like, oh my God, this shit's not gonna work. But then like it actually came off, and I'm like, what the?
Wait, so
It's actually coming off.
how often do you have to use that?
Any like public appearance or like anything like this.
All right,
Um,
and
yeah.
I like that you're on because you're close to my age, and I feel like I've been
Hmm.
interviewing a lot of my homies and people I work with who are younger, which is humbling for me because I'm like, wow, you guys are like way more talented than me, but like also like many years younger. But it's cool to speak to someone similar to age with me as me and like has
Yeah.
lived as many years. So I think it's a different vibe, and I'm excited for this episode. I
Yeah.
wanted to say like you've performed, right? I've seen somewhere where you
Yes.
were
Yes.
performing. How
Mhm.
was that?
It's kind of wild for me because when I first performed, it was like I heard my music super loud, and that's like all I want to hear. And like, it's like, and then it just happened, and I didn't think I would have like the energy or this is gonna sound like super corny, the courage to even do that in front of that many people.
Yeah,
And that's when it clicked. I'm like, oh, I can actually do this.
yeah.
And I'm like an entirely different person on stage or whatever. And it's fun. Yeah. It's
I
just
don't,
the funnest thing in
I
the
don't
world to
think
me.
anyone can do it. I really don't think so. People struggle to go up on like up in class and present a
Yeah.
project. So like to be a small artist who makes music and go out there and like perform it live in front of people, I think that takes balls.
Uh-huh.
I am the most confident person in the world, and I start shaking when I'm performing. I'm like nervous, and I'm like it's so thrilling to me because I'm like never nervous, and that's like the one
Yeah.
thing that makes me nervous, and I love it. So
No, it's like a different experience because not only are you trying your best to put yourself out there, you're also showing stuff that you've been working on forever. So it's like a battle like, oh, I hope they like this and I hope they don't think I'm weird after this, you know? So
Why
like
would they think that? I don't. The
it's
your music is actually really grounded and experimental. I was listening to it and I'm like,
uh,
you we were talking about Kodak and how like his was like doesn't sound like anything else. I kind of like listening to yours because it's its own
uh,
vibe, and I think that's so cool to be able to make music that doesn't isn't like available in better shapes or forms. Like yours is pretty unique in my opinion. It's its own thing.
yeah. It didn't start out like that.
Hmm.
Definitely not. This album took so long because I was just like just restarting and starting because I just like every vibe that I tried to get, I just hated after a couple months of working. Like, oh, this kind of sucks now. So it evolved into the point where I'm like, oh my God, I'm making music that I actually like would listen to, yeah, as a fan, you know. So it's exciting now that I'm onto this different sound basically. Because 2 years ago I was making pop music, you know. I was a weirdo pop music, but still pop music, you know. So now it's like straight rap, and the influences are just it's rap. It's rap music, you know? It's different rap music, but it's just rap music. Like I got like 2 minute long verses, you know, like
It's a whole nother beast, and
and
they're both hard in their own ways. I think it's impressive what you've done, and I wanted to hear a little bit more about what you think. What's the process like? How is it different when it comes to like making a single or just like one
uh,
song versus like creating and designing an album? Because I personally have gone through this a lot. I love making albums versus
yeah.
singles, and it's a whole different thing. I want to hear maybe your point of view on it.
So a single, I've released a couple singles the past 2 years. I wanted them all to each have it's like making a mini album in a single. That's the goal, is to have to hit specific beats and to hit specific points in a single that you want. Like if you were to show somebody, oh, this is what kind of music I make. If you need to make your single sound the best to that, like to your era, and then for an album, I think, which I did with Live at the Cottage, I this is my standards, okay? Like personally, this is what I do. I have to make every song flow into the next song,
Ooh,
and I have to make every like I it has to be the same aesthetic the whole time, unless to me it's a mixtape personally. So like for this album, every single song fits the same weirdo, witchy, like October-ish setting, which is like that's my whole thing right now. So an album has to be its own art piece, especially with the media that you're releasing with it, with the artwork and everything. It has to be its own little world, you know?
I agree. Yeah, I makes total sense, and I like that you do the
Yeah.
transition between songs. And
Hmm.
do you like produce as well? Like, do you make your own beats?
Yeah. They're
Wow.
all my beats.
So then you can keep it like the instrumentals kind of consistent throughout the album.
Uh-huh.
I think that's what's
What I yeah, what I do with the transition specifically is that I'll start a song, right? And then I'll have a different idea in the same project file. So like fuck it, I'll just make another song in the same project file. And
ooh.
I just find a way to transition and the project files end up being so bloated and like so like CPU heavy that it's hard to open the actual file. It takes like 2 minutes.
I don't think I've ever heard. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say they've worked on two different songs in one file. That's a
Oh no,
first for me.
for the first four songs on the album, it was all in one file. Yeah.
Four songs
Yeah, four songs.
in
It
one
was a mess.
file.
Hmm. Yeah.
Whoa.
It was a mess. It was a mess. And
Hey,
that's why I say that's you hear some of the same sounds in it because I was working on the same fucking file. You know?
hey, man, this man's built different. I respect it. Okay, wait. So you started at
What's up?
15. You know, I wanted to ask, what inspired you to start making music?
Um, so Gambino, Childish Gambino, when I was about 15, 16, released Awaken My Love. And
Okay.
I was just a straight. funk album, no rapping, just straight singing, and I was like, holy shit, this is the best thing I've ever heard in my life. I want to make funk music now. So I started on my iPhone, on my iPhone 5C, I think, at the time.
Woo!
And on GarageBand, I started making like the cheapo GarageBand loops, just to make funk music to show
Oh,
people, and that's how it started.
you started with the beats, or also you're recording yourself on it too?
Oh, I didn't start recording myself until 2018. So when I was 18, yeah, I was just
Whoa,
making beats up until then.
gotcha. Did you ever start like selling beats?
No, no, no.
So who were these beats for? Just like you were like practicing yourself?
Yeah, they were just instrumentals I would put out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's dope. Yo, I like it. Yeah, you build your craft and then come at them with the vocals.
They're very bad vocals when I first started at 18. Very bad.
Hey,
I just started getting like comfortable with my voice this year, actually.
I wanted to ask, like, do you keep all your music up, or do you kind of like go in private or delete older songs as
Oh,
you get
I
older?
delete older songs. Hell yeah, I delete older songs. There's no way I'm keeping that old shit up. Yeah, there's some embarrassing stuff I had back in 2016, 17,
Like,
18.
what was embarrassing? Like, what's the most embarrassing thing? You're
Um,
like, I had to get rid of it.
oh my God, there's a song called Butter that's still up that I can't delete because I'm not on the same like distributing platform. So it's still up and it's called Butter and it's under my full name, Kobe Maintenance. I think people should listen to it because it's funny, but I'm also embarrassed of it because it has
Okay.
frog sound effects and it's the worst.
Wait, you don't have access to that account anymore, but they still have it up?
No, it was on this distributing company that decided that they're only going to limit their service to like bigger artists. So they kicked off all the small artists, and I can't take my music off that fucking off Spotify anymore. It's still on there. It's just stay there forever under my actual name. So yeah, there's some
Whoa,
embarrassing songs under that name.
that's so interesting because like DistroKid, I think if you stop paying them money, they're like your songs are gone, buddy. They're not there
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah. DistroKid is cool. I like
It is cool,
DistroKid.
yeah. I'm just scared. I'm like, what if one day my bills just don't go through?
Yeah, that's what I was scared because I am super broke, and with my album, my yearly subscription was gonna end. So I was like, oh my god, I need to pay this shit before I release my album because I don't want my album not being
You
released.
guys got to go check out his music, help him out, support him, so he never has to worry about it
Actually, a
again.
couple of people bought my album on Bandcamp, which is cool. I ate Taco Bell off of it,
That's awesome.
so
Wait, did you say you ate Taco Bell off of it?
yeah, off the money I got,
Yo, this guy's
I got
awesome.
Taco.
This guy knows what's up.
I
Yo,
got
wait.
the three soft taco combo.
Okay, I was gonna ask, what was your order? What's your Taco Bell order?
Usually it's whatever box they have. I do miss the cheddar chalupa box that they had. Jesus Christ, I love that thing so much.
The Crunch Wrap Supreme.
The Crunchwrap Supreme. I was never a big fan of the Crunchwrap
I don't know,
because
man.
I don't know. Sometimes they're hit and miss for me because sometimes they're cold.
Oh
I'm like,
well,
oh,
that's when I turn into a Karen. If my shit was cold, I'm going back in there. No, no. So luckily, I haven't had a cold Crunchwrap Supreme. I would have cried if I had one of those.
yeah, it gets messy when it's cold. It gets a little messy.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. That's funny. That threw me off. It was hilarious. Um, I guess I wanted to ask, what are some of your goals for this year or this coming year, 2023?
This coming year. So off this album, I kind of don't know what to do musically.
Hmm.
Um, I set a few like standards I want. Obviously, is the whole like album thing. That those are my standards all the time. But I don't know what to do musically after this. I'm still in this stage, you know. So
Kind of like
next
writer's
year I
block,
do, huh?
writer's
Not
block, or more
not
direction
writer's
block,
block.
like the
I think it's
direction.
because everything that I wrote about on this last album, I'm currently either going through or like I've not too far from what happened, you know.
You don't want to make
So
like the
I have
same
to like,
album part two.
yeah, I want to like live more life before I could like, because that's what,
Yeah,
you have to live life, or for me personally, I have to live life to write about it,
I respect that.
so, but I'm still gonna be making beats and whatnot
Oh, for sure,
because
man.
it's just fun, you know.
Yeah, dude. If you got any good ones, send them my way.
And also, I do want to start doing YouTube stuff because I do want to keep my name out there,
Yes, sir.
but not like, but not like making music or at least a couple singles. But I
Yo,
still want to be active, like creatively.
yo, what do you think this is, bro? I'm there with you, man. I just dropped my
Yeah,
album. I worked for a year on it, dropped it, and now I'm like, I am not gonna touch music for a little bit. I have some ideas
yeah,
brewing up, but I'm not in album mode. I am in chill mode. I'm like, I'm just gonna make some
uh,
cool interviews with some homies, some people I haven't talked to, like you, who has been a
yeah.
part of my server, Discord server. So thank you for that. And obviously, like moving forward, now that I know how cool you are, I'm like, I wish we talked sooner. But it's dope that you're doing that because I like to ask artists what are some plans they have for how they're gonna promote their music moving forward. Like no one talks about the marketing, but it's so important. So I like how you're already
Yeah.
like staying relevant through YouTube. Like, what other things do you plan on doing or have in
I
mind?
do want to do. I've planned a whole month of promotion for this album
Mm-hmm.
that didn't go exactly how I planned. I wanted to do a couple videos, and I need to do a couple music videos for this album because it's so cinematic-y. Cinematic. Not to sound like fucking pretentious, but it
Hey, no,
is.
no, no. You could talk however you like, man. It's your music.
Yeah, it does require some sort of visual thing to it. So I really need to start doing that, especially with the whole get up and everything.
Have to.
I want to do more. I want to do more stuff like this to where I get to like put myself out there because I think it's important to have a cool look. So,
Absolutely.
you know,
Hey, man. And I'm glad you're on here before you blow up and go on to make millions. I'm glad you gave your homeboy a little love and showed up on the interview podcast. So
no,
I
for sure.
appreciate that,
Yeah, I like
bro.
what you're doing. I like the format of it. It's crazy.
Hey, man, feel free to steal it. I don't care. All my homies can eat. I don't care. But
Do you want to do like different stuff with your channel, or are you trying to do only interviews?
I've always, I mean, if you go through my YouTube channel, obviously no one does. Like, it's not, I'm not expecting people to know, but I love trying
Uh,
different stuff on YouTube. I've done
uh,
gaming before. I've met some
yeah.
my friends on my music artist friends through gaming, but this channel, yeah, I've been kind of experimenting what I can get away with doing as an artist and a YouTuber.
Uh,
So I like
I
interviews.
think
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think you should start doing like drinking games with artists. That'd be funny.
I don't know how that would work, but maybe we could talk about this and figure it out behind the scenes, or you could do it, man.
You should do.
I would love to hear more, but I, I don't know. I want to maybe do reactions. I don't know. Reactions aren't like interesting though. I don't know if people who are currently subscribed would stay subscribed if they just start seeing random reaction videos. I know it'd be good for growth, but also I'm like, I don't want to get rid of my other fans or people at least who like
Um,
watching some of my videos. So we'll see how it goes with that.
well, if you have a personality that sticks out, you're gonna get some people in.
We'll see. Yeah, I've
I
I've
feel
made
like the
some reaction
reaction.
videos. I've made some reaction
Hmm,
videos before on my gaming channel for like random stuff like Incredibles 2 trailer, and that stuff was cringy. Maybe if I get better, but yeah.
I feel like people watch reaction videos more because the person watching it. Because I find myself even watching like reaction videos of stuff I don't even care about. So it's like, like there's a couple people that I'm like, oh, I'll just watch him because he's funny.
Yeah, like
You
I'm
know.
Dante. I think is really funny or Speed. Just
Uh,
great. The
I watch
people.
I watch like Sean C clips all the time.
Oh, Sean C. Yeah,
He's so funny.
that guy's got a nice
It's like,
voice. He's got a nice voice though. Like I'm jealous.
yeah, got a nice, real soft voice
He can
there.
say the dumbest thing, but I'm like, man, he sounds so wise.
He does sound wise. Like
Right?
everything he says, you're like, oh, this guy's kind of right.
He
Like
sounds
he's
like
like saying the worst things sometimes. Or like,
he sounds like a
he's kind of
philosopher.
right. He does, honestly.
That's so true. Oh wait. Okay. What? Let me ask you this. Ooh, where's my question? I had a really good one that I like to ask.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your favorite concert you've ever been to, if you've been to one?
Favorite concert? That's interesting. I've been to a couple. I haven't been to a lot. I went to System of a Down in Fresno, which was
Ooh.
amazing. I think that's my favorite because I never thought I would see them like in my life because I thought they just were done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was in the cheap seats, just going crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't care if I was in the mosh pit. I don't even like mosh pits, honestly. But
Probably not with that crowd you wouldn't. That would go. That would be quite
nah, nah.
scary.
Yeah, fucking System of a Down was there and Corn, which I'm not really big into Corn, but they did crazy.
That's awesome, yeah. Uh, I know. I need to try to go to more concerts. I haven't been to any in a while. Um, and then I wanted to ask, who is your dream collab, artist wise? Like, who would
My
you, yeah, a feature from?
my dream collab, who do I wanna? I think making beats. I think if you gave Jaden Smith a chance, he could probably kill some. He could kill a feature. I swear, you probably do it. MF Doom, rest in peace.
Rest in
I would
peace.
kill to make a beat for. Um, who else? Oh, fuck. I don't want to say like the obvious ones like Kanye, you know. Um, I think if I put Drake on a crazy like lo-fi beat, that would be
Hmm.
funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be
Drake.
really funny. Stevie Wonder would be sick.
Mm, that would be actually pretty funny. He'd probably go
Who
hard
else
even.
do I? Yeah. Who else do I really like? I know I thought about this before. MIA, even though she said some pretty terrible things recently, I love her voice.
Hmm.
So I love MIA's voice. Pharrell, obviously.
I mean, he's
I
a
feel like,
masterclass producer himself.
dude, oh my God, he is at least top five best producers of all time, just off of his hits alone. That's not even counting like his deep dives and everything. That he's the best.
I
He's
agree.
literally the best.
I agree. And finally, I wanted to ask because we're coming to an end. I try to keep my videos somewhat short. What is
Yeah.
one message you have to your fans? Please let the people know.
To my fans,
Or
one
your
message that I have,
new fans and old fans.
you don't have to be the biggest artist in the world. I don't want to be the biggest artist in the world anymore. I just want to be to the point where I can make stuff that makes sense to me, and that's it. So I would say that don't be afraid of not being the craziest because even if you're going halfway there, you're way more ahead than other people, you know?
Absolutely.
So,
I agree, man. Well said. I mean, just not focusing too much on the success aspect of it and really just knowing that even if you fail, your life is great and there's other things you can do in life. So I respect that. I feel the same way, you know? At some point I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this, but now I know I'm doing it because it's fun and that's
mhm.
all anyone can ask for. So I appreciate you for coming on. Thank you so much, everyone. Please go check out his stuff. I'm gonna have everything linked in the description below. Thank you for coming on. Hopefully, in a couple months to a year, you come back. We do a little recap and see how life's going.
Yeah. Hopefully better. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. See you guys.